Hello, thank you for joining in. My name is Zainal Abraham Kumar, and my presentation is on Ivan Petrovich Pavlov. Pavlov was born in Russia, who obtained a degree in natural science and earns a doctorate in 1883. Later in 1904, he wins a Nobel Prize. Pavlov was married, and it is implied that he had a good balance between personal and work life. For the first 10 years, he pursued an interest in digestive system, experimenting on animals. After an observation of a patient's digestive system, he prepared a gastric fistula to experiment on dogs to determine how shooting of secretion through fistula varied as a function. During his work, he discovered the conditioned reflex. Pavlov observed that when a dog is presented with food, he salivates. When an unconditioned stimuli, such as food, is present, it emits an unconditioned response, such as salivation. Pavlov experiments to see if the dog can learn to a neutral stimuli, such as a tone, to elicit a response. Thus, if the response is elicited, it becomes a conditioned response. He then pairs the unconditional stimuli with neutral stimuli, and the dog emits an unconditioned response. Pavlov applies the laws of contiguity and frequency. The use of the law is for the dog to associate the neutral stimuli with unconditional stimuli. Pavlov removes unconditional stimuli and uses neutral stimuli. The use of only neutral stimuli to elicit a desired response after the application of contiguity and frequency, it becomes conditioned stimuli. So a conditioned stimuli elicits a conditioned response in a perfect world. Pavlov contributed to the study of behaviorism through his work of conditioned reflex. Influenced by Sechenov, Pavlov believed that all central nervous system activity can be characterized as either excitation or inhibition. Pattern of excitation or inhibition that characterizes the brain at any given moment is called cortical mosaic. Both men believe that all behaviors is reflexive, that is caused by an antecedent. Depending on the interaction on organism, can either exhibit extinction, spontaneous recovery, or disinhibition. Experimental neurosis is a lab where Pavlov tested on animals of its deterioration of behavior. He concludes that when an animal is unable to distinguish unconditional stimuli from conditioned stimuli, the excitatory and the inhibitory tendencies will conflict, resulting in breakdown of the animal's behavior. Pavlov speculated that much human abnormal behavior was caused by a breakdown of inhibitory process in the brain. He adds that how an organism responds to conflict is determined by the type of the nervous system they possess, and with innate ability, an organisms will engage in appropriate behavior where the adaptive significance of such signal should be obvious. Pavlov describes two types of signals, which are first signal system and second signal system. Seeing fire and withdrawing from it would exemplify the first signal system, but escaping in response to hearing the word fire exemplifies second signal system. For my citation, I used Hergenberg's An Introduction to the History of Psychology by Henley T.